If you've done the healing work and you're still bracing for the next one to show up, I want to tell you something. The bracing is the only piece left, and it's not actually protecting you anymore. This is a follow-up for the 2 videos that I did last week. One where we covered why empaths get chosen in the first place, and what the unwinding looks like once you're finally out. And this one closes the cycle. Not because the story ends, but because there's a specific moment when the cycle actually stops repeating, and almost nobody names it clearly. So today, I'm going to name it. Let me give you a quick catch-up if you're joining here first. Empaths don't get targeted by narcissists because something is wrong with them. They get targeted because their nervous system is built to attune to other people fast. And a narcissist reads attunement as supply before the empath even understands what's happening. That was the first video. The second one was the unraveling that happens after. The fog, the grief for a person who is never fully real, the slow return to your own body. And this one is about the part after that. The part where you're technically fine, technically healed, technically doing all the things, and some quiet part of you is still standing at the door waiting for the next one to walk through because some part of you doesn't yet believe that it's actually over. And I'm not talking about this in theory. I spent a long stretch of this year doing exactly what I just described, fully out of a dynamic that had cost me a lot, doing the work, cutting the cord in every way I knew how to cut it, and still catching myself scanning, watching new people a little too closely for the first signs, treating my own good instincts like suspects instead of trusting them. I want to be honest about that because if you're in that phase right now, hyper-vigilant even though you're actually safe, I don't want you to think that means you did the healing wrong. It means you're in the part of the healing that nobody puts in the fancy pamphlets. Here's what's happening underneath all of this. A narcissist dynamic doesn't cost you a relationship. It costs you trust in your own read of people. Because for a long time your read said this is safe or this is love, and the outcome said otherwise. So your system does something reasonable with unreasonable data. It decides your instincts can't be trusted anymore, and it starts running everyone through this external checklist instead. Red flag lists, love bombing warnings, every article that you can find. All of that is useful information. None of it is the thing that actually closes the cycle. You can know every red flag on earth and still be operating from a nervous system that's braced instead of grounded. And braced people miss things that grounded people catch instantly. Vigilance and discernment are not the same skill. Vigilance is exhausting, and it's still scanning from fear. And discernment is quiet, and it's scanning from a body that trusts itself again. The cycle doesn't break when you learn more information. It breaks when you trust your own read again. That's the whole mechanism. Everything else is downstream from that one repair. So how do you know when that repair has actually landed, instead of just intellectually agreeing with what I just said? Well, there's a few real markers, not the ones you'll find on some checklists. 1. You meet someone intense, and instead of your body lighting up with excitement, it gets quiet and a little cautious. And you don't override that caution to be polite. That quiet caution is discernment working, not anxiety malfunctioning. 2. You can be around someone charming without immediately assigning them a role in your life. Charm used to mean something to you. Now it's just information. Could be nothing, could be worth watching, not automatically a green light or a red light. And the big one, last. You stop needing the other person to prove they're safe before you'll believe you're allowed to feel calm. You just feel calm because the calm is coming from you now, not from evidence that they are providing. So, if none of this is true for you yet, that's not a failure. That's just data that the repair isn't finished. So keep going. I want to provide you with one practical tool. Here's one practice, and it takes about 10 seconds. anytime you meet someone new and feel that spark of this could be something, before you do anything else, put a hand on your chest and ask your body one question. Does this feel like excitement, or does this feel like relief? Excitement is neutral. It could go either way. But relief, specifically the feeling of finally someone who's going to make me feel okay, is worth pausing on. Because relief that intense, that fast, is usually your old pattern recognizing a familiar shape, not your discernment recognizing a safe person. There's a difference, and that's the whole tool. Hand on your chest, excitement or relief, and that's it. And now I'm going to bring through my guides to give you a channeled message about this whole process. You were never broken for attracting what you attracted. You were open, and openness finds the thing it's looking for, whether or not that thing was worthy of it. That's not a character flaw. That's a nervous system doing exactly what it was built to do, pointed for a while at the wrong target. The cycle isn't a life sentence. It's a signal, and signals can be recalibrated. You are not doomed to keep finding this. You are in the process of teaching your own instrument what it's actually for. You will meet someone again someday who feels calm instead of electric. And some part of you might even be disappointed by how quiet it feels. Let it be quiet. Quiet is what safe has been trying to tell you the whole time. If you'd ever been able to hear it over the noise of the old pattern. You're not behind. You're recalibrating. That's the whole cycle, breaking right now in real time, whether you can feel it yet or not. So guys, if you've been sitting with this and you're not sure whether what you're carrying right now is actually yours, an old fear, a leftover pattern, or something that genuinely needs your attention, that's exactly what the Is This Mine energy audit is for that I offer. It's 1 hour. We go through your field together and find out what's actually yours to hold. And I'll put that link in the description for you. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope that I was able to illustrate the importance, the significance, and the true dynamic between the empath and narcissist relationship for you, to give you a higher perspective and a broader understanding about why this happens to us and how it affects everything in our life, including, at a soul level, who we are. If you know someone who needs to hear this, please share. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.